So Austria is one of the most popular countries at the minute, and in particular, the Salzburg 10 Lake self-guided trip has been selling really well. And in the office, we're all very jealous because Bex went out to take the trip on with your husband.
I did.
And so I've managed to get you down to have a quick chat about what it was like and any tips and advice and highlights. So the one thing about our trips is we are an active holiday company. I looked stunning the photos, but how hard was it?
So I wouldn't say it was hard.
Okay.
It was like enough of a challenge that to keep you excited and keep it interesting, but it was by no means a challenging trek. You know, the terrain was pretty easy to walk on. We walked a lot on just actual paths, a lot of woodland and forest. There was maybe one day that was a little bit rocky underfoot when you're walking along the gorge. But that was like, it was just exciting. I think if it had been raining, they do say like maybe don't do that particular trail. But other than that, it was more like the length of the walks that was like the challenging aspect rather than the actual terrain. I think the maximum ascent was like 500 meters, so not much at all. So there's generally like an ascent of 300 to 500 meters and then a descent into the valley after at the end of the day. So not challenging, but enough to give you a bit of excitement and to be able to get views and rewards as well. So it was a nice mixture, I would say.
Yeah, it looked beautiful from the trips. But also one of the big things with any of these trips is the accommodation at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, you want somewhere nice to relax.
At the end of the day.
Oh, you need a good bed.
Yeah.
So what was the accommodation like?
It was honestly brilliant. It really was. Because that's the thing. Yeah, you don't know what you're going to at the end of the day. And I have to say, like, I didn't look into it massively. Like I could have. They do give you all the hotels that you're going to stay in. But I just didn't get the chance. So every day we didn't really know what we were rocking up to. But honestly, I was so pleasantly surprised. They were really, really good. I think they do say like about a 3-star standard, but they were brilliant. All really, really friendly. They're generally like small independent hotels where like one host looks after you and they check you in, they make sure you've got like water and everything. They literally can't do enough for you, and then they serve your breakfast the next day. Really, really friendly. I think we pretty much managed to get a room with like a beautiful view every single time as well. You know, whenever I book myself hotels, I end up with like a view of a brick wall. So we literally had a beautiful view every single day, I think. And then what was really nice as well is you stay in the same hotel on the first night and on the last night.
Oh, that's nice.
So it's kind of like, and like the lady that looked after us, she was like, "Oh, I'll see you in a week," and it's sort of like coming home at the end of the week. It was really lovely. So yeah, hotels were absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, you mentioned breakfast and stuff.
Yeah.
What is the food like in Austria?
Yeah, really good, really, really good. Yeah, so you get breakfast included every single morning. And it's always just an amazing big buffet. So like I ate so much, trying not to overeat every single day. So yeah, loads of fresh bread every morning, pastries, and then it was always just like cheese and ham and fresh fruit, and good coffee. Good coffee.
It's great coffee.
Yeah, really, really good coffee. So yeah, breakfast was always fab. And then we would generally just head off from there, and like there was almost always like a nice cafe or a bakery or something somewhere along the trail. We would normally sort of look ahead to see where we could get a little coffee stop. So we would always, like, depending on how far it was, stop for a nice little coffee and pick up some bits and bobs for the rest of the trail. And then we'd always then just like eat dinner when we got to the next destination. So all sorts of wonderful things, schnitzel and goulash and all, like we ate pretty traditional food, so it was amazing. And yeah, they are pretty good at desserts. I ate a lot of strudel. So yeah, food was great. Food was really, really good. So yeah.
So aside from the food being a highlight, and obviously it's the most difficult question to ask, but what were the highlights? A couple of them maybe, but yeah.
So many.
Just avoid 10.
Many. Yeah, keep going for half an hour. Favorite walks, I would say the one I mentioned before, walking along the gorge. That was day 2, I think it was. That was definitely the most challenging day. Really, really rewarding as well. That was possibly up there. But then also on the last day, when you're walking along the very famous Lake Hallstatt, it's so beautiful. You're literally walking on like directly above the water on these little bridges. So in the description it says you'll walk on bridges above the water, and I was kind of like, well, that's what a bridge is. But it's not until I'm trying to describe it to people that it literally is. Like, you feel like you're walking on the water because they're literally just above the surface of the water. So yeah, that was such a highlight. You literally walk like the length of the lake on these beautiful bridges, and yeah, you just feel like you're totally immersed in the lake. So that is amazing. But yeah, Hallstatt itself is also such a highlight because it's so beautiful. It's like something out of a fairy tale. And you come in on a ferry boat and then you leave by ferry boat as well. So it's literally just like an absolute dream world. It's amazing.
It's a nice way of transporting between arriving by boat.
So nice. so nice. Yeah. So you'd often we had 2 boat trips throughout the week. So you'd like finish your walk at the ferry port, and then you get a nice little boat trip over to your accommodation. So it's really, really nice. So yeah, they were both ferry trips were a highlight, to be fair. And yeah, all the towns were beautiful. Hallstatt, Mondsee. Mondsee was like a toy town. It was so beautiful. So everywhere is so clean. Everywhere is so clean. Yeah, St. Wolfgang as well. There was like a summer festival that we accidentally timed it really well to enjoy as well. So that was amazing. So yeah, sorry, that's not really highlights. But
yeah, I think we maybe had 9 there. So
yeah, sorry, I managed not to do 10.
But even before you went out, I think a lot of people in the office were jealous, and they're planning for next year.
Yeah.
And so, what tips do you have for anybody in the office, or anybody else wanting to go out?
Yeah, of course. The main thing definitely is just remember to take your swimming stuff out with you each day. Obviously, you're going to take it with you, but take it on each trek. So obviously, your main luggage gets transported for you each day onto your next hotel. So you just carry like a day bag with snacks and water and things like that, but pack your swimming stuff as well, and take one of those, those microfiber towels that are good for camping and stuff, so they dry really easily. Because you're going to walk past, you don't always necessarily finish by a lake. Sometimes you're going to walk past the lake on your walk, maybe at like 10k you're going to pass a lake, so you want to then be able to stop in and have a little dip.
Did you have a little swim in the lakes?
Yeah, so nice. And obviously we got beautiful weather, so like it was very welcome to halfway through the walk to go in for a little dip. So yeah, definitely take your swimming stuff with you on each day. And another one I would say as well is that they do say that all the water is drinkable in Australia. Literally, you can fill up your bottles from the lake and stuff. But I don't know. I'm not always so keen on that. So we took one of those water to go bottles that have the filter in them. So that was amazing. So we literally did just fill up our bottles from the lake, but we knew it had the filter in it, so it was like definitely okay. So yeah, there are 2 like practical tips. I would say there's a few sort of options to do like extra little loops, and you can go into some caves and you can do a loop around one of the lakes. It's like an extra, and I would say if you're feeling up to it, do it, because everything is so beautiful. So you're not going to regret like doing an extra hours walking or something like that, because it's so beautiful. So yeah, I would say, but just do it and use the app. The app is brilliant. The app is amazing. I literally got a map out once. Oh, wow. I did not use a map. So the KE app gives you all your directions every single day, and it notifies you as well. So go along here for 100 yards, then turn left. So we used that the entire time. It was absolutely brilliant. So I can't recommend that enough. I did have a bit of a panic the day before we left, thinking I've not actually looked into this, but I didn't need to, because the app tells you everything you need to know. So, excellent. Yeah, brilliant.
Well, I mean, thank you very much for doing this. But if you are ever interested in doing the Salzburg 10 Lakes self-guided walk, do call up the office and get through to Bex and other people in the team. And by this time next year, we'll probably have about 12 people who've done the trip. But yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you, Bex, for talking to me. Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.